about 2 hours before you guys are scheduled to meet up. Let's go 2 hours. So everyone's like, it's like, I don't know if you guys have like big families, but right before a fancy event at my aunt's house, like there'd be like 4 people in the bathroom doing their makeup at the same time, and everyone's zipping each other up. Yeah, picture time.
Yep.
Yeah, so everyone's getting their prep on. Uriel has broken out his viol and is playing.
Is he
For funsies.
down in the main room, or is he serenading Eliana up in her room?
Leave that up to Eliana.
Well, I think that she definitely at one point when they're just hanging out up there breaks out her lute, so we could situate in that point of time, or alternately I will offer the scene setting where he's jamming and she's just kind of singing along. I think I like it better with her just kind of singing along to him on the viol.
Yeah.
In
Music is happening.
in the main tap, like where physically in the call are you?
Oh, still in her room, I think.
Oh, that's so
Thank you
cute.
for that cue.
Oh shit. Sorry guys. Like I said, I can't take cough medicine because of my Wellbutrin. So, does anyone want to start with a recap like we normally do, and I've been doing for literally 5.5 years?
It's good. We've had the scene setting, and now we're gonna flash back and see how we got here.
Yeah, I want to talk about what happened last game, as I forget my one line.
Yeah, so this morning, we were back at the Caring Hands School. Was it only this morning? It was indeed only this morning, Uktar 24. Um, so while we were there, we had some conversations, tied up some loose ends, time indeed being a weird soup. Eliana and Grim both interviewed Ola a little bit about her experience dealing with about her experience on her last sea voyage and what happened to her crew and how far they were from shore. We did a few last sweeps of the dorms for any mind flayer nonsense to clean up. We got Karis oriented at this place. We departed via teleportation scroll to Regis Tower. Unfortunately, everybody forgot to take the horses and Kiss's tent. An oversight which Corinne has later identified. So thank you, Corinne. Reg provides us with a letter certifying that yes, indeed, this wasn't there. Yes, indeed, there was a mind flare, as well as also a set of telescription pens, phantom scribe pens. Let's just call them long distance relationship pens.
That's funny because it's canon in all of my games.
I'm so glad. Yeah. So then Corinne and Bones made a bet for who could gather more information about the fundraiser. Um, and Corinne was very successful. She went over to the Griffin to do some investigating and slash mainly eavesdropping upon gossip, and found out that there has been some drama at the Hawkwinters with the tutor for young Chiron suddenly realizing that he's a sailor from the Dock Ward um, and not, in fact, a headmaster. And that accordingly, Chiron's behavioral problems seem to have resurfaced. Coincidentally, it's a coincidence, right? And Corinne and Bones later reunited at the Hawkwinter estate, where they climbed a wall and they eavesdropped. The fundraiser will go on. The show must go on. They've got to avoid a scandal. You know how it is. Meanwhile, back at the call, Alina took the opportunity to escape from her captivity, but not before first teaching Lenya and Grim a couple more drink recipes and giving Grim a recommendation for their next out-of-town date with Corinne. So Grim and Alina are bonding, and that part's pretty great. And then Eliana went down to the Court of Miracles first to talk to Ilya about, oh hey, mind flayers, aberrations. What experience do you have dealing with those? At which point, and Ilya provided some wisdom, also provided a book with the collected wisdom of the Court of Miracles on the issue. And oh, by the way, Uriel's in the garden. Just thought you might want to know. No particular reason.
Ilya's
So
the worst shipper out of all of them.
I'm keeping her in mind for potential monologue tokens later on. So yeah, she went to visit him in the garden and gave him a long distance relationship pen, and they did some gardening together. They made some date plans, and then on the way back had the define the relationship um discussion, which went very well and left both of them very happy. Lenya tried on some outfits. Corinne, meanwhile, tried on some outfits, and had a good time with Grim in doing so. And then flash forward to Corinne showing Grim the wonders of removing removing wrinkles through a steamed room, i.e., bathing with a glass of wine and with good company. What did I miss?
I mean, that seems pretty thorough to me.
It really does. And I do feel like I should stipulate, just I don't think anyone really thinks that Grim doesn't take baths. Because Corinne has definitely mentioned it before now, but it is specifically the luxuriating in hot tubs for extended periods, long enough to steam wrinkles out of clothing that Grim is unfamiliar with. They are very familiar with like basic hygiene. And also they do not generally walk around the call shirtless. It was a special occasion of panicking about their formal clothes.
My interpretation is that Grim is just like, he's the guy who gets in and washes himself and then gets out and doesn't dissociate in the shower for 15 minutes.
Yes, they have not until recently had access to hot running water that didn't have to be like heated up. I think there was a previous side check I remember looking for it where they mentioned like but at previous tubs, by the time you got all the tub filled, the water had already pretty well cooled off. So yeah, that the wonders of good hot water indoor plumbing are new to them.
Meanwhile, I love that. On a similar note, I would like to stipulate that while I was reading Grim and Corinne's side chat about bathing, I kept giving Eliana nudges about, are you sure you don't want to take a bath? And she kept being rather insistent that she didn't require one. And I think combined with there being a note on camera last time at the Court of Miracles about getting dirty in the garden and then getting clean again, I'm wondering if she perhaps managed to do some cleanup at the Court of Miracles.
I will put on record that Uriel offered you the use of his bathroom, which includes a fancy invention called a shower.
I feel like I need to know how many different scented soaps Uriel has, because I feel certain that the answer is more than one.
It is more than one. It is 4.
Like aesthetically pleasing scented soaps, so I'm not imagining like the
three
situation.
scented. Yeah, 3 scented soaps and 1 unscented for work days.
He's so good.
He's also envisioning fluffy bathrobes. So yeah.
Oh,
That feels like
most
another
assuredly.
difference. Corinne has like what? Is it 4 different robes for 4 different occasions? And Uriel
Yep.
maybe also has 4 different robes, but they're all fluffy.
All
Yeah.
of them are
This is my
fluffy.
headcanon. I don't know if it's true.
There's various levels of, you know when you get that robe that has been worn for like the last 10 years, so now it's nice for summer days because
Mhm.
there's very little left of it.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
I love this.
He doesn't have
Yes.
sexy robes. He has robes that he has worn long enough that they are light.
He has exactly the right amount of cozy for the weather year round.
hmm
I love him.
Wonderful.
I can't wait for you guys to see him in a fight.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm having a hard time envisioning it, to be honest, and I'm
Or
delighted
any
by
sort
the
of
prospect.
emergency.
Yeah.
at all.
I can definitely imagine him like doing the paramedic thing.
Yes.
Well, one of my goals, not Grimm's goals, but Hannah's goals, is to figure out how to like get Uriel to come along on a mission at some point. So maybe we'll get to see that.
He is an available DMPC for you guys to steal permissions.
He's a recruitable party member.
He is a recruit. There are very few people in this game who are not recruitable party members.
Delightful.
Probably not the Mind Flayer.
I was just gonna say we missed
Well,
an
yeah.
opportunity.
I mean, we killed it, so.
I think,
Yes.
I think the Mind Flayer was trying to recruit us as
It had its own party
Grim as
that
a
it was
party
trying to pull
member,
us
but
into.
I mean, the game could have gone in that direction. I would have
Yeah.
rolled with it.
Oh, Grim would have hated it so much.
What a journey.
So
I'd find
Uriel,
I'd find my player stats. You guys know I would. I have a brain trust for such things.
Yes.
All right. Fate music comes from Eliana and Eliana's room as there is a duet happening as Eliana probably like puts on makeup, does her hair, things like that.
yeah. Yeah, she's got her fundraiser outfit back on. Got her ruby hairpin in. And and has switched over to her for fun makeup and not her concealer.
Hmm.
Are the scales visible?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Delightful.
Anyone else want to do anything or get anything on camera before we start heading into leaving for the party?
I was looking up the Troll Skull Manor map because specifically I was trying to remember whether wow, it doesn't want to show up though very well. Are we
There it is.
Oh, that's right. It also exists in this game that we're playing.
I'll just move Alina left.
Yes,
She'll probably be
okay.
back.
So she'll be back. I can't wait. So Corinne and Grim are because Grim needed to help with the dress fasteners. Shall we walk down past the room where the music is happening?
Yeah.
Does that
sounds
sound
great.
fun?
Yes.
Yeah.
Delightful. So I think when so Grim has had their formal clothes on, was hanging out reading the Scarlet Pimpernel equivalent aloud while Corinne finished getting ready. Anything that oh, that's lovely. Anything that we want to put on record up in Corinne's room, or do we pick up on the stairs?
I think we'll probably pick up on the stairs. Like Corinne has spent an extensive amount of time, like specifically on her hair, and her dress is the last step of the process. So I think as the two of them are heading down the stairs,
Grim has definitely like offered her an arm. Leaving the room, which they expect to drop the second they see anybody else, but for the moment.
Yeah, she takes it for now at least. And as they're heading down the stairs, music is wafting up, and Corinne kind of stops, like, in the middle of the staircase, and, like, looks around the corner, and then looks at Grim.
How quiet is the music? Do I hear the music?
I'm sure you'd hear it.
But not immediately because I have a lower passive. So I think Grim sort of blinks at her for just a moment. What is it?
She like jerks her head towards Eliana's room. Do you hear it?
Oh, oh, oh! Is that going to be every day now?
Why would that be every day? Not every day you have 2 instrumentalists.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I will drop into awakened mind. Let's talk downstairs.
Very well. Continues down the stairs.
And Wynn will be quiet until reaching the tavern space. Anybody down here? I guess it's evening time.
It's
Ish.
evening time. There's a few people around, a couple of regulars chatting, having dinner. No one seems to pay you much attention, even in your formal gear. Everyone's kind of in their own business. Like you might not notice if the owner of a restaurant was walking through when you were eating because you're doing your own thing. I would say a healthy crowd. It is not suspiciously empty nor suspiciously full.
Delightful. Grim will sort of do the quick like I am the tavern owner and scan of the room to gauge how business is doing, noticing if anyone is being unruly or problematic. Sort of gives a small satisfied nod, and I think we'll steer towards the bar and unloop their arm from Corinne's and duck behind the bar to pour, I think, healthy glasses of water for her and themselves. Slides Corinne's across the bar and leans on it a little bit, sipping their own.
She takes it, takes a considerable swig, sets it back down, kind of like leans with her elbows on the bar, like chin in one hand.
I told you he asked about breakfast, yeah? When he was in my kitchen?
You did?
Well,
Corinne's expression is like a little bit gleeful, like not fully, but like there is definitely some like she is pleased with the direction that this is taking.
You don't have to enjoy it so much.
Oh, but it's so fun when I do, though.
Is it? And points at themselves and then the kitchen. That you are enjoying, or is it? And then points up at the ceiling.
Yes.
All right.
Just very cheerfully grinning.
And I think Grim just like shakes their head, like sort of both exasperated and charmed, just like shakes their head and tops off her water glass. And I think doesn't have anything else to say right now, unless she would like to troll them further, which she certainly
Oh, yes.
if she wants.
She will leave it at she takes the water glass, kind of like swirls it a tiny bit, since it's been topped up again, so we're not going to go crazy with it. But she'll go, you're very charming when you're thrown off balance.
I am glad you approve. It does seem to happen more often and more often the more time that I spend with you. So that's not an accident, is it?
What do you mean?
Like just enough head tilt to like side eye her from behind, like clear the unpatched eye and side eye her more effectively.
Oh, she is like still grinning, like not hiding at all, like no poker face here.
And you are very charming when you're smug, so I suppose that works out.
It does work out very nicely for us, doesn't it?
They will just lift their glass and clink it against hers.
She takes the clink and then another healthy sip of water.
Delightful. Anything else you want from that scene?
Nope, that's great.
We're just down there pre-gaming with hydration.
Yep.
Fair.
Yes, we must be sober for the walk around the corner.
Yes. Well, yes.
Clearly.
Designated driver Grim is in full effect. So what's going on upstairs? Or on the way out the door, either way.
She's just kind of so use that to guide your impressions of the vague happy humming along going on upstairs. And Lenya will finish getting everything ready for the party. Turn to Uriel. You should know that as of yet, I have no marks in things like purse holding or uh, being an accompaniment at a party. I'm not going to get them tonight, but I am starting from something like 0.
He smiles and he puts down his viol and actually shrinks it back to the small charm he wears on his wrist. Well, we'll just have to train you up then. Probably not tonight, though.
No.
Besides, I think Corinne would vouch for you.
I think she would.
So not quite 0.
No, not quite. And I did learn a few things in Omnian ballrooms. Not the things that you get with a partner, but the things that you get just maneuvering your way through merchant society.
I found merchants' parties to be a little bit more cutthroat than even the noble ones, so you're probably working at a higher level than I am.
I suppose it's possible. I think they're more willing to shame you over perceived social transgressions. So there is that level of cutthroat.
When everyone is equal, you don't have a title to hide behind. And he'll stand and offer you an arm.
She accepts his arm. Shall we go downstairs and I can deliver you to the bar to spend the evening?
Sounds like a plan to me.
She smiles and begins their way down.
Yeah. They head down the stairs. Eliana is dressed to the nines. Uriel is wearing pants and a shirt.
Corinne kind of turns at the sound of their descent. It kind of gives Eliana one of those like head to toe kind of lookovers, and then like a nod of approval, like with kind of like a smile.
Oh.
Eliana smiles back at Corinne. How was your afternoon?
I had to go through my wardrobe and identify which gown specifically was going to be the right tone. So it took some time there. But very, very good. Luxurious bath. I was able to relax a bit, had a glass of wine, and I'm now hydrating, apparently.
Grim just very, very solemn expression, tops off her glass again.
Haven't even gotten to the halfway point once.
Just keeping it fresh.
It's water.
Fresh water?
Takes another sip.
Well, I like the one that you picked. And before that?
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, I mean, I'm happy that I'm happy that you had some time to relax. And before we go, interested in what you learned before that.
Oh, yes, that's right. I have not had the chance to talk to you about it. Okay, so, well, the fundraiser's still obviously gesturing down at her dress, obviously still going on. And the turns out that the tutor for the Hawkwinter's youngest daughter, it's younger Chiron. There's 2 Chirons, the younger one. Apparently went off his mind and started claiming to be a sailor and not a tutor. So I think that probably had something to do with events up north. Also, said same younger Chiron has had some regression in her behavior. Apparently had some impulse issues, was not appropriately behaved for fine society. Her facial expression, like, in describing all of this is very, like, apparently had a turn of events where she started behaving impeccably for a brief period of time after starting to see this tutor. And coincidentally, when the tutor started claiming to not be a tutor, younger Chiron's behavior reverted back to what it was before. But I also don't think is a coincidence.
No, it seems like another one.
Wonder if she'll be there tonight.
That will be interesting, won't it? That could be a potentially very useful distraction tactic. Someone goes and provokes her, sends the parents over to handle the matter.
Something to
Uriel,
think about.
Uriel nods a little bit, and he's obviously, like, thinking back, and he's like, oh, I haven't been in that circle for a bit. I remember her having a temper, though, even when she was young.
Yes, apparently it was not something that the family approved of. So, one way of handling the matter, I suppose, is brainwashing.
Grim will pour a glass of water and slide it over to Eliana.
She has a drink of the water and says, I wonder what her family knew about it. If they had just thought, oh, here's this tutor who's suddenly working to help our child, or if they knew more.
Or some combination thereof.
Oh, if someone would like to ask them about it, I can certainly, like, taps the side of their head, have a listen.
I can certainly do that.
Before or after you make me introduce myself?
Oh, absolutely, before.
Grim makes a relieved face and takes another big gulp of water.
They're not going to be throwing tomatoes at this thing, are they?
Oh, gods no, that's high harvest tide. That's long past.
Or anything of the like?
No, fundraisers are usually a bit more focused on propriety. You don't get quite the same level of wild behavior as just general festivals and holiday parties.
Oh, very good.
No, you should be fine.
Grim has, like, a look of realization. Will we be expected to provide funds tonight, or is this only the talking part?
Oh, no. No one's committing. Well, one could theoretically commit this evening, but this is more for informational purposes. If someone wants to make a pledge tonight, they can, but it's not a requirement by any means.
Uriel raises his hand.
Yes? You don't have to raise your hand.
Didn't want to interrupt. I believe the Hawkwinters usually do per plate fundraisers, which is a bit gauche, but
Oh.
it's a super legit
Corinne's
dinner.
expression goes very like
Corinne and Uriel make the same expression of, yeah, that's gauche.
yeah, like ugh.
But your meal would have been paid for with your ticket. Or invitation. I ran with the Hawkwinter family was in my circle when I was doing those things.
Well, I suppose we should see about potentially finding a way to reimburse the cost of our ticket. Although if the money's actually going to a proper school,
We'll have
which
to
they don't know yet.
Ask if it turns up there. Ask Karis if she receives it.
Indeed.
I don't know how they'd send it. If someone would notice that it's not the people they left there, or if it would just be some poor courier who doesn't know the difference. But either way, find out.
Corinne just kind of nods and takes another sip of water.
Grim has not provided Uriel with a glass of water. They're not like studiously ignoring him in the way that they do often do. Like that is they're making an effort, is that they are not actually icing him out, but they have not provided him with water.
About that time, you all see as your Tabaxi friend enters, wearing a very dramatic dress.
Is this the one that was in
the
the art,
peacock
the long
dress?
one?
Yeah. I'll even pull it on for the recording. Back there. Boom. Boom. Yeah, so the one in the art channel.
Yes.
The sari, and she's wearing thick gold bands around her neck. Her hair, which y'all is actually a rose gold color, she had kept covered
Oh, it's not
most
under
of
the
the
scarf
entire
now.
mission. It's not under the scarf anymore. And it is long and fluffy. And just ringlets. And she has it pulled back a little bit, but mostly it's been left down.
Corinne gives Grim like a little bit of a side-eye look, like very amused.
That's another fucking redhead.
Grim, with their passive of 12, has not yet noticed. I'm assuming Bones' like passive stealth is good enough that Grim has not yet noticed.
Oh yeah.
What is it? Now?
Oh, hello, Bones.
Grim just sighs deeply and walks into the kitchen.
Bones just blinks a little bit. No, not the first strange reaction I've had tonight. And she'll sit down at the bar.
Would you like a glass of water? I hear that we're supposed to be on our best behavior this evening, apparently.
Sure, water's fine.
At this point, Oleana to Uriel. Would you like a glass of water?
He just grins. No, I'm going to start drinking wine the moment you leave.
Corinne retrieves a glass, fills it, slides it over to Bones.
And she takes it and takes a sip.
Grim returns from the kitchen and picks up, refills their own water glass and starts drinking water.
So is this a tradition or something? And she points to the water glass.
Kind of.
Our devoted parent would like to make sure that we all make good choices this evening, and that starts with hydration.
Not too many good choices, just that you will not be miserable in the morning is really the goal.
What if I want to be miserable in the morning?
Well, then return your glass and I'll fill it with wine.
No, I'd much rather drink someone else's wine.
Grim gives a satisfied nod.
Uriel looks to you and shakes his head no.
Is it... Oh, Uriel, don't tell me I'm paying for bad wine.
Then I won't tell you. He just...
Oh, God.
We've already paid for the bad wine.
Someone's already paid for the bad wine.
This is an outrage.
Would you like me to have Bosun bring something else invisibly?
Yes, please.
Graham reaches not under the bar, reaches up to reaches to wherever we keep the wine in this bar, pulls a unopened bottle of root beer off the appropriate shelf, holds it up into the air for a moment. After a few moments, it vanishes from their hand, and anyone with a good passive can hear a little flappy flappy wing noises. Hopefully he won't drop it.
Bones looks confused and impressed. Uriel just laughs and keeps drinking his wine.
Corinne to Uriel. Is there going to be anything acceptable for consumption on the premises tonight?
The cook is quite good, so the food will be fine.
Why
They're
would
not going to have a fish.
The party guests should be interesting. It's usually a decent mix of all quarter parties. Not Ankothr levels, but the lower levels.
It's very interesting. Corinne still looks visibly like put out by the fact that there is going to be shitty wine at this party. Like,
Corinne's pouting.
yeah.
What did you say there, Liz? It was a little robot-y before you started describing her anger about the wine.
Oh, that basically just that she was very put out by this information.
Grim addressing sort of just sort of the room in general, or the group in general. Why would they, if they can afford a good cook, why would they buy unfortunate wine?
Either they don't know the difference, or they think that it's not worth spending money on good wine for if it's only to solicit donations for charity.
Or they are more interested in the name on the bottle than the quality.
Grim has
There is that.
Grim has a light bulb moment. If it is bad wine, does that mean it is going to be sweet wine or just terrible wine?
Oh. Vinegar.
Don't get your hopes up.
Oh, that's unfortunate. All right.
Not the good sort of bad wine, no, I'm sorry.
Well, I've been promised Czar later. He smirks at Corinne.
If you introduce yourself to at least one person.
Only if they introduce themselves first.
Yes,
That was the deal.
that is the condition.
Uriel looks a little confused by this exchange, but doesn't say anything.
Grim is going to reach under the bar, pull out a shot glass and a bottle of like maple liqueur. Just pour a shot of it and throws it back. All right. Are we ready? Putting the
As ready as I'm
bottle
going
back.
to be.
Ready, let's do this.
Are you
Bones
coming down with a
nods.
sudden illness and won't be able to attend?
No, it'll be fine. Just very put out.
I regret your suffering. Offers her their arm again. Over the bar.
She pats it and stands up.
Delightful. They'll walk out from behind the bar and start heading for the door.
Eliana hugs Uriel goodbye.
Aww.
I will see you after this.
You will definitely. I will be here, posted at the bar.
Don't drink too much wine.
I will not be singing on any tables tonight, I promise.
Very good.
Grim gives Grim could, they went far enough away to hear that, gives Corinne a, you see? You hear that? You see what I have to put up with around here? Expression.
Corinne just kind of gives them a look of innocence. What?
Nothing. I'll get the door. Bones, are you coming?
Yes, definitely. I was going to ask, you guys will have hidden weapons, right?
I'm not allowed.
I don't need them.
Okay,
The dagger strapped in my pockets.
perfect. And, why don't you put on a sword or something as a decoy?
I am not allowed.
Yeah,
not
hold
You
on.
need to, and then like, yeah, look, okay, if Corinne's already off and running, they will wait.
Yep.
Assuming she's coming to the same conclusion that they have.
Yep, Corinne is getting her rapier. With the belt. Kind of like slings it around their waist/hip, fastens it, like one smooth movement. And don't actually attempt to use it.
I would not dare. This one is special.
We'll look suspicious if we don't hand over any weapons.
Oh, are you sure you want it to be this one then?
I mean, we're just checking it. You get it back at the end of the night.
This one's special. Like, slightly mulish expression.
If you don't get it back, I'll break it and steal it.
Very good. We'll use this one then.
Grim, like, briefly rests their hand on the hilt and then doesn't anymore. And then just sort of gives it a fond pat because they are very proud of this sword.
Right, let's go. And then
I
heads to the door.
I would like to activate my monologue token. I'm going to be that person who uses it early.
There's gotta be.
Yeah.
Bones, please. For any point during in the her thoughts for any point during this in the tavern pre-gaming session.
Sure. All right. Well, it's quite smart that they were drinking water. Hopefully that keeps up. And if the wine is bad, that's good. We don't need soused adventurers at a fancy party. Reg didn't call me pretty earlier today. That seems a bit odd. He did make that weird croaking sound though, so at least there's that. Okay. Well, two of them don't need weapons, which seems odd, but sure, okay. And Corinne knows how to hide a dagger, so that should be fine.
Delightful.
Yeah, Reg, I think I asked Rob how he racked it, and he basically just made a blue screen of death noise.
That checks out.
I love it.
Yes. My new goal is for some Bones to mention to Corinne that Reg didn't tell her she was pretty though, and then we can see what happens after that. But nobody knows. It's fine.
They'll have a conversation. All right, as you all head to the party.
Delightful.
Put you on the map of Waterdeep for a hot second while I populate this map. Because, like I said, I did not get as much done as I had hoped. So...
Are we going to have one of your pretty house maps?
Yes, you will.
I love a pretty house map.
Pretty house maps.
This is not a full house, though. This is just a ballroom, because I've learned my lesson from the last pretty house map.
The player of the rogue will feel obligated to check the entire house.
Yep.
I don't know how. Yeah, that was I made Heather describe every room in
perception checks for literally every single room in a 400 room house.
Tab
oh gosh.
No.
in a fellow estate, I think Corinne would be a little bit more circumspect than that.
Tab.
She's like, it's a fancy house.
Than Tab does. And also probably isn't looking for like a secret hiding spot yet.
No.
Maybe
Right.
later.
No. Not for herself yet.
He looks good. Sorry, I'm grabbing tokens to represent characters because I already had the characters
Is Vecna
planned.
gonna be there?
Vecna is always there. He's always somebody.
It's a very good token.
It's just my favorite token. It's just I don't know. He's very dashing.
It really is a good token. Like, I don't blame you at all. It's just that will forever be
It's
the
hilarious.
association for
It's
me now.
it'll always be Vecna. Oh, she's good for that person.
Also, if you're talking about liches and bitches, he's the lichiest and bitchiest of them all.
Really is.
Bring in Vecna. And that guy looks like a less evil Vecna. You guys want to take a quick 3-minute break while I get this all set up?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
I just realized I was going to keep you here while I was grabbing tokens, so.
meat is cranberry sage.
Oh.
It's very exciting.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
And you guys all have good timing as we are.
Delightful.
You all enter the party, hand over your invitations. You're shown to a large ballroom in which a long table has been put in the center of it. Um, it's definitely decorated. There's candelabras on the sides and some arcane lights even to to give just some mood lighting. A lot of like golds and red colors. As you all enter,
Where is the actual entrance for?
so the actual entrance, is where you are, Corinne. It's like
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
Grim is hiding even more than they meant to.
uh, what's the ballroom look like? Other than the long table in the middle of it.
Sure. Marble floors, but tiled, not one single piece. There's some mosaic patterns and definitely some spots where maybe the marble didn't come from the exact same place as the other marbles. So there are signs that maybe this is not like the high level of society, but maybe like upper middle class, low upper class sort of situation.
Mm-hmm.
Corinne, with your passive perception though, you recognize one of the people here.
Oh, do I?
Lord Felgrar Ilutel is he's contemporary to you, and not only that, he ran in a couple of circles that you ran into. Like you recognize him. He's a known rake and gambler, just kind of an all-around bad boy. He ran with a group called the Wild Lords of Waterdeep, which is like an upper class. They weren't a gang so much as a group of nobility that just did mischief.
Yeah, that we're bored.
Yeah.
Oh. Interesting.
Oh.
Makes the keep going gesture.
The gentleman kind of nods in the general direction of where he is. Used to run in the same circles. Back when I was in that circle more consistently. And apparently so was he.
Is this like an age group, a contemporary of the party?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's younger.
And which one is he? Just for purposes of like...
Oh, I thought the nameplates would be visible. There you go. That one
Okay.
at the bottom.
Okay, with the hair,
Cool.
with the...
Hold on. I thought I gave them all nameplates for
Oh.
my own sanity, but I thought y'all would be able to see them.
Unfortunately not.
That's awful.
Oh no, he's kind of handsome.
The
He's
same-
a
the same
rake.
spy.
You cannot be a good rake if you're not even a little bit handsome. I mean,
It's
I guess
true.
you can if it's force of personality, but you kind of have to be a little bit of a rake.
Yeah.
So.
I'm going to confirm Felgar is kind of hot to the notes. He's not a redhead, though. Grim hasn't noticed.
Yeah.
Thank God.
I don't know. There's one gentleman back here who has his hair is pulled back, and half of his hair is all of his hair is dreadlocks, but half of his hair is like a crimson red.
Delightful.
And this gentleman here has a shock of very much ginger hair.
It's fine.
Good luck, kiddo.
Um,
Go ahead.
as you all enter, everyone kind of looks up, and you are definitely being seen because you're not the usual crowd. But not only that, a lot of people are just straight up staring at Bones. She doesn't seem to notice, or maybe she doesn't seem to mind.
Yeah. Corinne starts to put on like I am the party vibes. And like sweeps into the room and starts like parading down the stairs.
Lenya has she has a game face on. She's set her shoulders. She is looking as confident as she can, standing up straight, trying to put on the appearance of belonging here.
I think Grim will glance at Bones, who's before, like, as if the other two have swept off, and would like
Oh
to
yeah.
sort of insight check Bones's. Oh, that's not great. It's a 9.
No. She's hard to read.
If she is moving off fairly promptly, Grim will just follow along.
No, she'll hang back. She's kind of keeping an eye on you.
Okay.
And she's letting the other two go first.
I think then, with the other two having moved ahead, Grim will sort of wry expression and will offer Bones their arm.
She takes it.
And will follow after.
You are
She can
going to...
once
Yeah, she's gonna...
touching them, she can. I mean, she has pretty good insight to begin with. She can probably tell that Grim is tense.
You're only going to draw more attention to yourself by being arm in arm with the tabaxi.
It's all right. I'll go hide in a corner in a bit. That would be telepathically as well.
Oh yeah. She speaks out loud, but it's quiet. As you all sweep in. Give me a second. I'm just gonna grab some people that going to make a special note that these are not the people who they represent.
Delightful.
They're just better tokens.
Invisible Bosun is going to find a good spot in the mantle to set down his wine bottle. He's going to set down his wine bottle, but he's going to keep like 3 tentacles wrapped around it so it remains invisible. So he's just chilling on top of the mantle with his wine bottle. Hopefully it's very well insulated, so the wine is not getting warm.
I love him.
Let's use this guy.
Oh, hey, Dernan.
His name's not Dernan anymore right now. It's just
Hello,
this weird
sir.
lookalike. It's weird lookalike. What? That doesn't even match.
I know. Oh, I love the Drow Gunslinger
Oh my
tokens.
gosh.
They're so cute, but I have no idea why they are a completely different aesthetic than literally everything else in the game.
I'm so confused. Just like I was like, oh, okay, that looks exciting.
If you grab Drow Laxels, I believe that one is a typical Drow token.
Oh yeah, I wasn't even going for a Drow. It just looked like someone with whitish hair. I was like, okay, that should be fine. And then I was like, nope, no, actually not.
Yeah.
Let's go with her. No, that is
No.
our last demon. What the fuck? I'm going back to the other tokens. God damn.
Everything is fine. We haven't stumbled upon a hideout for Asmodeus.
Let's go with her. God damn.
That's a good token.
There you go.
I like that one.
That looks like a person.
That looks like Bo's goth girlfriend from the one shot.
It does.
Yeah, I think those are the two that are there. Kind of. They'll be standing kind of at the head of the table.
Oh, those are Hawkwinters?
Those are your Hawkwinters for the evening.
Grim Woods will scan the room with their terrible perception. Is there anyone here who are there any minors here? Basically, is there anyone who looks like they could plausibly be the Hawkwinter daughter?
Not at the moment.
Delightful.
So Corinne will go ahead and step in, will make eye contact with Lord Felgar and just go, Lord Felgar, oh my god, how are you? And just like extend her arms in a warm, like,
Oh yeah. He gives you, greets you, kiss on each cheek.
mm-hmm.
What are you doing here?
Well, we heard that there was a fundraiser for the Carrying Hands School, and I've heard so much about it from Callie. She told me that it was fairly new, and I'm looking to start getting, involved in some sort of charity organization, and so I thought this would be an excellent opportunity to learn more. What are you doing here?
The Hawkwitters are old friends, so I, decided to, throw a little bit of money at the pet project.
Oh, that's marvelous! How are you these days? It's been so long. Oh, God. Do you remember when you used to run around with the, what are they called? Name is good. That little side project you had.
The Wild Lords. Yeah, that's quite behind me now. Would you like me to introduce you around, you and your friends? I imagine you don't know many of the names here. I mean, you know the names, but not maybe the faces.
No, I should be most obliged. Thank you ever so much.
I'd be delighted.
Oh, this is my friend Eliana from
Pleasure to meet you. And he gives you a nice formal bow.
She gives a curtsy back.
And he will kind of post up next to you and just kind of start pointing people out. Clearly those are the Helmfast there, shipping. Solda Taldore, don't know if she was in town when you were in society.
Don't believe she was.
Then there's Bresnos Artemel and Ord Artemel. They moneylenders. Take their hunting very seriously. Terrifying, actually. They actually go hunting.
Really? How strange.
Lord Argent, he is single. If you're looking. Not a bad catch. This is his second son, so, well.
You know, dear, I've always been looking, but never seriously.
Well, he's now the heir, so that happened.
Well, that's interesting.
And I think that's everyone of note. Do Artemels, Taldore, Helmfast, Argent, and then of course Lord and Lady Hawkwinter. And that's the rundown for tonight's dinner party.
Oh, lovely. It's a very intimate affair.
I think it was supposed to be a ball, but I had to scale down due to some scandal. Which is another reason why I kept my invitation, of course.
Oh.
His eyes get big.
What sort of scandal?
Their tutor went absolutely batshit insane. But the daughter's tutor, crazy, just off the deep end, started talking like he was from the Dark Ward, started saying he was from the Dark Ward.
What on earth?
Got actually pretty violent when he was told that no, he's the tutor for the young lady, young Lady Hawkwinter.
Dear.
Got a bit bloody, but
oh dear.
You know me, I don't shy away from a good story.
Oh no, of course not. I hope no one's too terribly injured.
Oh no, I don't think so. No one of note, anyway.
That's a relief. Whatever happened to that poor man?
I mean, if he wants to work at the docks, then I guess he's free to go. They can't keep him.
Well, I suppose that's fair. Oh, what a tragedy.
I have to say, I still don't understand. Why wouldn't we still be able to have a big party?
Well, some people, their name is not quite as... can't quite hold up to scandal or being associated with scandal, close to scandal, so they'll shy away from such things. Unless, of course, they can't afford to for networking reasons, or they don't give a fuck about scandal, I suppose. That's my thing. I love a good story.
I suppose so.
And the lower lords, they always have the most interesting stories at their parties. They take themselves so seriously.
Well, we'd already been invited. We saw no reason not to come. We're here. We want to support the children, and I love a good story too.
And he nods. Well, shout if you want me to introduce you to literally anyone. I know all of these people.
Delightful. You'll be the first one I come to. First, do you know? And Corinne will look to see if they have any servants like carrying around like hors d'oeuvres.
Oh
or,
yeah,
like...
there's past hors d'oeuvres. There's there are wine glasses being offered on trays. Not a lot of people are taking them. A few are, and they just drink it, and then they don't make a face because this is a proper party, but the disappointment in the drinks is palpable.
Yep. Oh, Corinne feels that in her bones. So Corinne will go look for an hors d'oeuvre train. I will go avail myself of some of the refreshments first, and then I will come to you as soon as I have laid the land a bit.
Mm-hmm. Kind of pats you on the arm. And he's gonna make himself... He's gonna go head over to Lord Artemil, the younger Artemil.
Heather, would you mind just putting those names in the chat box?
Yeah. Give me a moment. Lady Hawkwinter, Lord Hawkwinter.
Which Helmfast specifically is this one?
Kelvar, the old captain.
Oh, phew.
And then Edmund, the young captain.
Oh no! Which one is Edmund?
The young redhead.
Oh no!
Which was not on purpose.
Oh
yes!
It's a whole ass thing that I am rolling with.
That's amazing.
I want to play a monologue token.
I don't think Grim has noticed him yet.
Okay, I'm gonna hold that monologue token.
Stay tuned.
Because that's what it's getting played on.
What a fruitful party.
Hold on, I'm just typing out names.
I'm so excited.
Lord. Okay, I have to run to the bathroom really quick to blow my nose, and I'll be right back.
Delightful. I'm going to copy these names into the notes so that I have them later when I want spellings. I'm so excited. What a fruitful group of people.
I am thrilled.
Yes, same. Hard same.
Lord Argent. Nope,
So
that's not how you spell it.
That would be presumably the younger sibling of Uriel's widow? Uriel's not widow. What do you call the person who died? I don't want to say ex-wife because that feels not correct.
The deceased wife.
Deceased. Uriel's late wife.
Late wife. Yes, there it is. We got there. We got there eventually.
And Salda is Ilya's terrifying mother. The Artemels, I
okay.
think, will be new to us unless anybody recognizes those names.
I do not. Corinne might. I don't know. So Lord Bresnos Artemel. And Ord.
And it would be, if I heard correctly, Kelvar and Edwind. Fast. The old and young captains, respectively. Those I do not have to wait for someone else to spell. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm also so happy that Heather you apparently do the same thing that I do when I'm running a Waterdeep game, which is just like look up the families and be like, I don't actually care where these people fell in the timeline. I just need names. These are my names now.
Yes, literally
It's
was
very
like
good.
just rating the
Mhm.
Wikipedia because, like I said, I've been really sick, and I was like, names,
It's nice.
these ones.
It's nice to have like jumping off points and then be like,
But
you're mine now and you will become mine. Yeah.
but I am so glad that that more of these link into people's backstories than originally planned.
I don't think
Like
I
I
don't think
planned
yeah.
3 of them, but
This is very
bonus.
this is very,
Oh my
very
gosh.
good.
This
I
is
don't think
incredible.
Grim clearly hasn't practiced any of the Edwind yet, so I'm sure it's
Amazing.
fine. And I don't think
Glad
he's
I'm
ever met Kelvar, so
glad I accidentally made him a redhead.
I'm so pleased.
Totally at random.
I mean, it's on brand.
And Ord is the younger Artemel that
Yes.
Felgar is selling over to. Okay.
Yeah. Younger might be in the eye of the beholder, though.
He's not Lord.
When the elder is this one,
Yeah.
this white-haired gentleman.
There's
This
a
one
window scope for
is
younger.
younger.
Yep.
Wonderful.
Yep. Amazing. Just for purposes of
I wish there was an option to show nameplates to you all, because that would make
Yeah.
That
all
would
of our
really
lives.
help.
I feel like there's like a button that looks like it should do it, but doesn't. It's very disappointing.
Yeah, it's a nameplate button.
Yeah.
As I
Yeah.
went through and labeled everyone, because I was like, okay, this will help me and everyone else.
Yeah. So just let me see. Okay.
Could
I'm
we
gonna
actually
change a thing. Do you guys see Lord Hawkwinter now?
No,
no,
sadly.
because he's invisible.
Ah, shit. Well.
Oh
I should
wait,
Google
was
this.
Lord Hawkwinter Durnan?
Durnan,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, yes, we do see the token.
Oh yeah, no, I
Sorry.
meant the
The
I
nameplate.
The
clicked a
nameplate.
button that looked like it might work, but then let's just Google this because it'll take me 10 seconds to.
Sure. And I'm just gonna go through and
Oh,
confirm.
okay. Advanced tab, player permissions, name, check off C. Advanced. Token setting. Sorry, everybody. I
No
should have.
worries.
It's okay.
This will help us all.
Indeed.
Trying to find the I have not been in Roll20 very
Yeah,
much
since the UI
lately.
update.
Yeah, so now I'm like, where literally is anything?
Oh, no, that's keyboard shortcuts.
Because it says it's under the advanced, and I was like, under advanced where? There's 8 advanced. This is why I hate Roll20. Personalization and display. Okay. It should. player permissions. Does anyone know where player permissions are?
So it looks like it's on the token itself. Let me rejoin as GM and I'll see if I can find it.
Because then you'll at least be able to see.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at advanced and I can see group, ungroup, is drawing, flip horizontal, flip vertical, and set dimensions. I can't actually. Jam notes, no. Dynamic lighting. Advanced and legacy settings. No, fuck your dynamic lighting. No one likes it. It's bad and you should feel bad.
Roll20, stop trying to make dynamic lighting happen.
It's not gonna happen. Slowly loading back in. Crafting spells list.
It says there's an advanced tab, and then I go, and I'm like, no, there isn't. This is why everyone switched to Foundry. All right, I think that it might just not be a thing that I can do because it's like go to the advanced settings that don't exist.
Yeah.
I appreciate your trying.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I found it.
Oh, yay! It's
Yay!
Someone put screenshots, and it's in the stupidest place ever.
Oh no.
Y'all see it now?
Hey!
Yeah, it's in the
Cool.
stupidest place ever.
There's Lord Hawkwinter.
It's in this little arrow thing that doesn't look like it should be anything beyond, I don't know, make this bigger.
Oh, there they all are. Okay, I will rejoin as a player again.
All right, I'm gonna make this happen
Delightful.
because it's gonna be super fucking useful if we're gonna be doing.
Okay, so Lord Kelvar is Vecna. Got it.
Oh, Lord Argent is the other redhead. Oh, there's. I had assumed that they were going to be relatives, but that's great.
Why can't I? This is why for Foundry. This shit right here. Manually set literally everything. I think I'm through the first half.
We'll see if you get finished before it lets me log back in.
I might be like, have you guys tell me if there's who's still missing.
Oh man. Salda's token is also Adriel's token in Biscuit Game, so that's confusing.
Is it the sort of woman with the bluish hair?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I meant to go for like stern gray haired. That's all I went for.
It's a very good token too.
It is a very good token.
Okay, did I miss anyone changing permissions on anyone?
Lady Hawkwinter.
Lady Hawkwinter, okay.
But everybody else, you're good.
I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh.
And this means I can delete
Should be
I
saved.
was starting to put little descriptions next to the list of names in my notes.
Okay. If
Yes.
you can't see Lady Hawkwinter, then it's broken.
We are good.
Got it.
Wonderful. Yeah, their design is bad and they should feel bad because the
really
dot
should.
dot dot looks like it doesn't look like anything. It looks like, I don't know, a scroll down button
Mm-hmm.
because they put the dots too close together.
Oh no.
All right, guess what? We have names. You guys can tell who is who
Delightful.
now that Lord Ilutel has kindly pointed out who everyone is for you.
Delightful. Corinne will go to the Hawkwinters themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anyone else is joining her, but
Anya
that's
will go
happening.
with her.
Okay. As she approaches, she will offer the deep curtsy. Lord and Lady Hawkwinter, it is an honor to be at this event. I am so thrilled to hear about what the school has done for their charges.
Yes, well, we are happy to have new faces at our gatherings. I think that they had gotten a bit stale with only us, but I'm glad to see people more than just the regulars.
Are you the only sponsors of the school?
At the moment, but I'm hoping to advance our spheres of influence. The school is doing very good work.
Oh, yes. Extraordinarily good work.
Just brilliant. They're everything about them brilliant. And reforming our wilder youth. So I'm happy to support them, and I do hope that more people will support them. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Oh, no, of course. Corinne Eleanor Regina Amcathra extends a hand.
Yeah, Lord Hawkwinter takes it and bows low over it. Well, that's quite a name. We haven't had the Amcathras come to one of our parties in, I think, generations. Pleasure
You know,
to come.
oh, of course. I was just telling Lord Iltel, I've been looking for opportunities to get involved in charitable organizations, and I just caught wind of the Carrying Hands School recently, and thought that might be a potential opportunity to support a cause that, really advances the opportunities for our youth. It is very distressing to see them in such disarray on the streets.
Of course, and this way they learn a trade, they learn how to conduct themselves as upstanding members of society, and perhaps find some proper life goals to strive for.
If I may,
Yes.
Eliana, that's me. Have there been any examples of the work that have been done by the students?
I would
Not at the moment. I'll go ahead.
like to sort of will drop into awakened mind as this conversation is starting to happen, and
Mm-hmm.
to first Corinne and then Aliana will just say, "Tell me when you would like me. Let me know when you would like me to start listening." So
Okay.
they're in position and but are holding off on detect thoughts until they get the nod.
Sure. Lord Hawkwinter kind of goes, not yet. They're still trying to get established, and with the level of reform they're doing, it's not quite like the Cartwright School of Cartwrights, where they can just turn out Cartwrights with no real concern for anything other than can they make a wheel or such. So because of the nature of the schooling that they're getting, it's a little bit more advanced, and thus it takes a little bit longer before we see results. But I think that long-term investments are infinitely more stable than short-term ones.
Oh, of course. Tell me, of course, the Cartwright School of Cartwrights was only the one trade. Is this multiple trades?
It's less about trades and more about them becoming productive members of society so that they could join any trade. Perhaps work in a shop, or become a lady's maid, or maybe even with some of the more potential students, marry up. So it's really all a matter of what they feel their potential is and helping them live up to what they might want out of life.
How is it that you determine the curriculum to elevate them from their very grim prospects?
Detect bots. Amazing. I'll just
Oh my god, that's pumpkin.
so I'll just be sort of intern skimming surface thoughts from the two Lord and Lady for the next minute. Not gonna probe deeper, probably.
Okay, sure. They're very pleased that they have hooked an Mkathra. They are like they're like brimming with excitement. Not only that they got an Mkathra, but like they're an Mkathra and their entire entourage. Because they definitely are like, this is an Mkathra and they're 4 friends.
That makes so much sense.
Well, 3 friends rather, but because I can't count, but
that's okay.
They haven't seen Bosun yet.
They haven't seen Bosun. No one's seen Bosun that you know of.
Note that Quiche is not in attendance at this party.
No, so they're very like not kowtowing, but definitely there's a word for
Differential?
it. But yes, that's the word. That is literally the exact word I was looking for. To Corinne, and they're trying to answer all of her questions as best they can. Even when they might not be super knowledgeable about the answers, they kind of just find a reason to give.
Then via awakened mind to Corinne. I don't know if they know much, but they'll tell you anything you want to know, I think.
Tell me, how on earth did you get connected to the school in the first place?
Well, it was run by. Sorry, give me a second.
No, go for it.
Ugh, daycare sucks.
Oh.
Ugh. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure it's passed before I start talking again.
Totally fair.
No worries.
Well, they had a the person who came up with all of the educational theories had entered our life at a very trying time with our daughter, and when we saw what progress he was doing with her, we fuck's sake.
You need to go around and grab some water or something like that, Heather. That's totally fine.
No, I have water. The problem is not more water. The problem is just that this is a thing.
Understandable.
But when we saw the progress that he made with our Kieran, we decided that certainly more people can benefit from such a thing. So we were happy to invest when he started his school.
And when was that?
About a year and a half ago, too.
And any disconnect between the words and what they were thinking? Or was that the truth as they know it? Okay.
That is the truth as they know it. But something about all of the things they're saying feels very like these are the lines they were practiced, and this is what they think, because this is literally what they think.
Mm-hmm.
Something about it just is not quite. It feels rehearsed, but also like they're not thinking this is rehearsed and I am performing a speech. They are definitely like, these are the exact things that we say.
Or mind controlled, or brainwashed themselves.
Perhaps
potentially.
They are possibly mind controlled. Maybe. I'm not quite sure.
I think Grim.
There's definitely a suspicion of mind control there.
Mm-hmm. I think to Corinne and then to Eliana, since Corinne is leading the talking, but we'll say to both, they may have been affected themselves.
Hmm.
It's wonderful that they were able to be so helpful to you.
Truly, Savior's coming in our time of need.
Indeed, although I hope you'll forgive me for my my prying. It's such a delicate matter. But I am led to understand that there were some unfortunate circumstances that occurred within the past day or so. Is everyone all right?
Everything is fine. I think that the tutor that we employ from the school, not her original tutor, but one that we employ from the school, we think he may have hit his head. He had a bad fall down the stairs, and brain damage can change an entire person's entire personality.
Yes, of course. I am truly sorry for the difficulty that I'm sure that's brought for you and yours. I do hope everyone recovers from it.
I hope so as well.
Well, I'm very excited to learn more about the organization. Elena, was there anything else that you had questions about?
Oh, no, I don't. You're doing wonderful work here.
Thank you. Is there anyone you would like me to introduce you to? I know that this is not normally the crowd you run with, and I'm happy to make introductions.
And for clarification, Lord Illatel did or did not give first names for the Helmfast family.
Definitely did.
Definitely did. Delightful. So Corinne will look over to Edwin Helmfast. I'm just like, I am so intrigued by this gentleman over here. Lord Felgra mentioned is one of the Helmfasts. I don't think I'm familiar with that family. Would very much appreciate an introduction.
Of course, they're a shipping family, very up and coming. I'll introduce you, and he will walk you over to Edwin Helmfast.
Delightful.
And to Hannah, can you give me some beats about his personality? Because I did not realize that he was part of your backstory.
Yeah.
And
So
I put
here
him
I
in.
will drop the text into the chat so you'll have that.
Wonderful.
Basically, he's a cad.
Oh.
He's a pretty boy who was toyed with Grim a bit when they were the sullen young but very bright star question mark.
It says
Of
a
the-
redhead, obviously.
Mhm. Of the that's a beautiful bit of synchronicity there of the cartographers, the sort of the apprentice group that Grim was part of.
Mhm.
So they had a thing with Grim and then publicly embarrassed him. But I don't believe Grim has ever specified the nature of the public embarrassment. So there was definitely like a definitely like how did you like how did you why did, that was ridiculous that you believed anything I told you, but
Yeah.
sort of beyond that.
How did you buy that? That was
And I think probably the point at
clearly.
which Corinne approach is being led over to him is like Grim is tracking Corinne is probably the point at which they realize who all is here.
Monologue token. There.
I'm sorry, this is going to be a very unsatisfying monologue because it's just no, and then a very long blue screen of death. Like,
I mean, I'm still pleased.
which
Well done.
eventually, like at some point, will resolve into like I think there is sort of a like so it's like long like probably longer than the time it actually takes like they probably don't catch up until some point during the conversation, but I suspect it will resolve in sort of just deep like That's sort of like Grim quietly but intensely pleased and just, I love you. And that would be their monologue.
Aw.
So
Thank you. Very
you're
satisfying.
welcome. I can't wait to see what you do.
Yeah. As Edwin, as Lord Hawkwinter brings you over, this is Edwin Helmfast of House Helmfast. He is quite an avid member of our little dinner club. I don't think you've missed a single party in quite a while. And Edwin kind of shakes it. I would never miss one of your parties. And he is actually drinking the booze, which just shows that he is a terrible person because he seems to be drinking the booze.
Yep. Oh, what a trash person. Corinne will very cheerfully extend a hand. Lovely to meet you, Corinne Eleanor Regina M. Cathra. So pleased to make your acquaintance.
And I'm pleased to make yours as well. And he's gonna kiss the back of your hand because he's an asshole.
Wow, I hate him.
Corinne just kind of
I'm just making his personality note the worst.
No, I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here for it. Corinne just kind of puts a hand to her to her sternum, just like that look of like coy, like that. It's like performative coyness, essentially. It's like, oh, you are charming, aren't you? The rumors I've heard are very true.
Some are true and some are not, and I'd be happy to figure out which ones are and all with you.
Oh, well, I don't think that conversation should happen in this particular company.
Lord Hawkwinter walks away.
Delightful.
He's taking a hint. Whether it is a correct hint or not, he is just walking away.
Perfect. Corinne kind of like glances towards a corner. From a passing servant will take I don't know, just a crab puff. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And just kind of like make eye contact with Edwin and then head over to this corner. Like not so far away that it's like actually secluded, but like far enough away that no one else can really hear them.
Mm-hmm. And he kind of looks around and he says his goodbyes because seems like he was having a conversation with his mother. And after a moment, we'll join you. He's actually going to sidle right into that corner because he's an asshole. Perfect.
So tell me, how is the shipping life? That is your family's business, correct? Just, I do apologize if I've misspoken.
Oh, no, it is our family business, and I am in love with the sea, and I think she loves me back. We've been very lucky.
Oh, that's such a romantic notion, having an affair with the sea. Do you find yourself a romantic, Edwin?
I do believe so. I like to think I am.
Fascinating. I would normally expect someone who sails to be a bit untethered in other areas of their life. Wouldn't you agree?
I don't think that you need to be tying yourself down to find romance in life.
Is that what you're looking for in your life experiences?
Romance, of course. I mean, and of course, if the right woman were to come around, or really the right person, I'd be happy to maybe make port.
Corinne kind of like tosses her hair a little bit. It's like, interesting. And what pray tell does make it the right person? I suppose, how does one know when one encounters a right person?
He's gonna smile and take your hand. And it's a cheesy smile.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you can ever know who the right person is, but instincts are always a good first choice.
Oh. She kind of like gracefully like extracts her hand and like taps him on the nose. She's like, you are quite the smooth talker, sir. I will tell you that much.
I'm quite smooth at other things as well. And he'll give you a wink.
Oh. I'd be very curious to see if we could test that theory.
I'm definitely open to any scientific experiments you might like to try on me.
She kind of like looks around the room a little bit, just as like a, like, she does not actually care if anyone is listening, like, but it's just like performing.
Yeah.
What say you we meet? Perhaps, well, let me take a step back for a moment. What does your evening look like after this event?
For you, open.
Oh, you flatter me. What should I say? I do have a few business items to attend to afterwards. But shall we say 10 p.m. meet the Oblast Griffin for dinner? And perhaps a few nightcaps.
I would be honored.
I'll consider it a date then.
A date it is.
Lovely to meet you, Edwin Helmfast.
And lovely to meet you too, Corinne and Kothra.
She kind of tosses her hair again and then like heads towards another servant. And just like, as she's walking away, like makes eye contact with Grim and just has this smirk on her face.
I'm gonna make them roll. Oh, 19 performance. They have recovered admirably. And I think expression, like they're posted up on the wall doing their like cool and mysterious thing. But the sending an emotion via awakened mind is just pure appreciation and gratitude, and also a heavy underline of curiosity.
Delightful. So Corinne's gonna go find Bones at this point, and we'll kind of like ask to pull her away from the conversation that she's having.
Yeah, she's talking with Salda. And she goes, excuse me, just a moment. And she will head back and join you.
What would be the best possible way to spread rumors that a noble's been jilted?
Oh my, God. You definitely want to sow servants. It's always the servants, really. You know. The servants are the source of all of the good gossip. Do you need a connection?
I may need to perhaps get in with the serving staff of Oblast Griffin. I've made a date with that gentleman that I fully intend to not fulfill.
Fantastic. I know the Oblast Griffin. That's a restaurant, right?
It's the combination really fancy luxury inn and restaurant.
Okay. She's like, all right, if you're not planning on keeping it, I will, if we have time after this, I will speak to the maitre d' and have him seated at like the center of the room so that everyone can see him just waiting and eating bread.
Delightful. I did also have the thought cross my mind of perhaps getting a note transferred to have him, book a room, go meet up there, and have someone stumble in at a, inconvenient time. Perhaps, no, this room is double booked.
Like I said, I know the maitre d'. We could probably be like, oh, you're here for a romantic evening. Let me give you our best table, and are you needing a room for the night? And she kind of like does like extra like wink, 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 like obviously overselling it.
Yeah. Yes.
And then it's a matter of, oh, the maid busted in at a very unfortunate moment, didn't she?
Yes, I want him to be as humiliated as humanly possible.
I actually know a maid there who has a fantastic squeak screech laugh that
Perfect.
will humiliate any man.
Perfect. Corinne will grab a cocktail napkin and pull a pen out and just like scrawl a note and hand it to Bones. And like the note's contents is basically like running a little bit late, get us a room, be waiting for me, ready to go.
She smiles, takes it, and you see that even despite the fact that this dress has no like visible pockets or seams, or like the dress looks like the skirt looks exceptionally tight, you notice that the dress is actually looser than the visual would make it seem, and easier to move in than the visual would make it seem. Reg
Love
did not
it.
do that. Fucking Reg did not do that. He hadn't seen this dress.
I thought it was magically enchanted, but okay,
No,
Reg
it's just a
is still a
sorry
treasure,
skirt.
but for
It's
other
all
reason.
about
That's
Reg is a
fabulous,
treasure
though.
for other reasons. It's literally just in how you fold it. Sometimes you can make it look really tight, but then you step and like it just keeps expanding. So she tucks it into a like an interior pocket.
Yeah.
And gives you a nod.
Perfect. Treasure.
Mhm. She nods.
And then Corinne will also fill her in on what she knows about the conversation from the Hawkwinters, that, it sounds like they are potentially also in the thick of it, but not aware that they are in the thick of it because someone has a hold on them in some capacity.
That makes sense. Judging by what Ilya said, perhaps they're making moves into the nobility here?
Perhaps. That would explain why they were so enthusiastic to answer my questions.
Jump the next rung up on the ladder.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Indeed.
Do you want to meet Zalda?
Certainly.
It's Ilya's mother.
Oh, this will be interesting.
I'll introduce you.
Delightful.
She will move here. Grim, you find a gentleman kind of posts up. He's not gonna his token is gonna be next to you, but he is not standing next to you.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of standing in like another corner that's dark. And he's
mystery
like,
competition.
it's less a mystery competition and more like, and you see him pull out a flask. He takes a swig of it and offers it to you. Silent.
What was that last word?
He's silent.
Oh,
Absolutely
he's
silent.
silent. He offers the flask
he just
silently.
quietly offers the flask.
Grim will stare at it for like from behind their eye patch and bang. So what it looks like is that they have turned their head towards it, but the sort of befuddled staring is hopefully not evident. Very like without turning their head, like gaze flicks over towards Corinne. They will reach for the flask and they would like to pretend to drink without actually doing so.
Sure. Yeah, you kind of lift the flask. It smells kind of sweet. Maybe like a sweet brandy or something.
Oh, Grim doesn't have any way of sampling, knowing if they're being poisoned, and is deeply suspicious of strangers. So they will still just pretend to drink, although they will be more tempted.
Yeah, he nods to you, and and he'll take it back and kind of close it and put it in a pocket. To be fair, he drank it before you did. So
yeah, I know. I'm just Grim.
Yeah, that's fair. That also fair. I just wanted to make sure that was entered into the calculations.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's is appreciated. But yeah, Grim's just a suspicious asshole. And does he say anything, or are we just now standing?
Just kind of like quietly posted up, avoiding the party a little bit together.
I think Grim sighs, but doesn't say anything yet.
He doesn't make eye contact, and he doesn't say anything immediately. He's just kind of like, "Oh, you have stolen my dark corner. I guess we're sharing this now."
Grim is like doubling down on the mystery, though. How old is this person?
relatively young, maybe probably your age actually.
Okay.
Early mid to early 20s.
Okay. Oh, okay, Hannah really wants to talk to this person, but Grim, it's a stranger, and he has not introduced himself yet. So Grim is just gonna stand there being mysterious, kind of doubling down on the mysterious to make sure that I am more mysterious than he is.
Of course. After a moment, he will say, I'm Lord Argent, and these parties are awful.
Actaeon Grim.
Pleasure to meet you. The booze here is terrible. The food is fine. He takes out his flask and takes another drink. Words. What are words even?
Yeah. No, I don't. I certainly don't know. I think Grim is
And
quiet, like doesn't respond immediately, and then sort of a little bit like a little bit like clearly forcing the words out. Did smuggle in a bottle of root wheel.
Clever. I stick with fig brandy myself, because I need the extra punch, but if you're offering, maybe later.
Not yet, but it's not for me. But maybe later.
Significant other drag you do these things?
Not exactly.
He nods. Not my cup of tea either. My sister was the better of these, but here we are.
Long pause again. Did she drag you?
In a manner of speaking. But no, not literally.
Just like very small nod.
And he'll just be quiet. Like he is fine sitting in quiet and seems to be relieved to sit with someone in near total silence.
Grim is, let me just I think Grim is likewise relieved to stand here in near total silence.
All right.
Delightful. This is the one with the, you said half red hair, half non-red hair?
Yeah. His
Oh
hair is
dear. Is he
it's
cute
very
other
clearly
than other?
yeah, he's pretty cute. Dark skinned, his hair like very chiseled jaw, like he's got his hair is dreadlocked and pulled back in a very flat, like half up, flattering kind of way. He's dressed very nicely. He does have an air of I don't want to fucking be here though.
Okay, then Grim will continue to sort of stay posted up on the wall, trying to trying to subtly outdo his aesthetic does not seem mysterious, but Grim is definitely leaning hard into the I am cool and mysterious, and is definitely sneaking peeks occasionally when they think they can get away with it.
Grim, roll me a history check.
It's 12 on the die. I don't know what my modifier is. 17 total.
Okay, you did hear Uriel say when I was Lord Argent.
Oh, I could remember if he'd said that in front of us.
Yeah, he said it a little bit like he said it afterwards when you guys were getting ready to go for the party and drinking water.
Okay.
He was like, yeah, when I was Lord Argent.
Oh, that's right, he did. Thank you. And Corinne is actively engaged in talking to Salda at this moment. What is Eliana doing?
So she was last with the Helmfasts, and assuming that she was introduced, she's probably sorry, what was that?
Oh yeah, you can assume that you will be introduced to whoever you want, especially by the Lord Hawkner.
All right. So in that case, she's probably asking them a pretty standard set of questions about how she wants to support education for the youth of Waterdeep, and how did you come to support the Caring Hands School?
And Bones is also so everyone is engaged in conversation. Um, I think Grim is just going to be quiet for a while. I feel like they should do something with this, but they are too busy being overwhelmed and in 7 directions at once. So I will yield the floor and see if I can get them to open their mouth
Sure.
again.
So, speaking of Eliana, yeah, the Helmfasts are happy to talk to you about the school. They mentioned that they were early investors. They find the school, they've visited the school before. They greatly enjoyed their tour there. They felt that everything was shipshape.
Oh, how wonderful. When did you visit the school?
Oh, probably 6 months ago? Yes, 6 months ago.
What were the children learning?
Oh, all the basics that one would need to be a, you know, discerning member of society. History, how to read. Some of these children, unfortunately, don't even know how to read. Just I think occasional some mathematics, ledger keeping, that sort of thing. Um,
Really unfortunate. Did you did you have the opportunity to learn about the who sets the curriculum? Did you get to speak to any of the teachers or the headmaster?
we did speak with the headmaster. He's quite a pleasant fellow.
Oh, how wonderful. How does one become a headmaster of a school like this?
I think that the theory behind the school itself is all his. So, I think that's you put forth a good theory on how to perhaps you know how to educate the minds of young children, and then you find investors who believe in said theory, and then you start your school, and then hopefully if you do well, you get a quite a few investors. Think we're still working on that part, but
It's important to have a visionary to like that. What was the fella's name? I don't think I've ever caught it.
I reference my notes. What? Why are you doing this to me? There we are. I think it was Tate. Headmaster Tate.
Headmaster Tate. Ah, quite. No, didn't come from any of the noble families here?
No, no, no. Pulled himself up by his bootstraps. Quite admirable, really.
Always admirable, yes. You can rise as far as you want, especially when you have a leg up like the Caring Hands School.
Exactly, and that's what we're hoping to help with. Help these students really find their purpose.
Yes. Now the school's not in the city, is it?
No, 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 no.
Of, of course not. You've got to get them away from the corrupting influences of it.
One moment, I'm out of water. Sorry about that. I was running on no
No
water.
problem.
No, water is important. Grim knows.
I've downed like 4 cans of water. Right, exactly. We felt that way ourselves. I'm quite pleased to see that he's doing good work. Removing the students from the. You can only do such work once they're removed from the situation that they originally found themselves in.
Of course. And how is the And wondering, wondering who was generous enough to contribute the land for the school, and if they're in need of any contributions.
Oh, the land for the school is actually donated by us.
Ah,
It's just a small parcel that we have. We keep it for hunting, but
of course, truly generous of you. Uh, Tell me, how have your hunting expeditions been?
middling. We haven't been able to pull ourselves away from the dogs very recently. If you're curious about hunting, though, the Arsenals are truly the hunters amongst us. That's why I was happy to give up my parcel for a school.
Oh yes, I'm only a Midland hunter myself, but uh, we could all use a bit more outdoor recreation and a bit more time away from the city.
Of course, it's good for the soul.
It is. Lady Amcathra introduced me to forest bathing. I hadn't been familiar with it before. I have to say I like it very much.
It is just the thing to clear the mind when you find yourself to be riddled with far too many thoughts.
It is. Does it look like there might be multiple meanings here when he says far too many thoughts?
Roll an insight check.
That's a 15.
All right. He doesn't seem to have any. You don't notice anything that particularly sticks out.
Okay.
But he's kind of a hard read.
Tell me, does the headmaster ever make appearances at these events?
No.
Oh,
He's not fond of public society. I believe that the tutor that one of his teachers that works at the school usually comes to such things to speak about the quality of the education there and the education program itself. Unfortunately, he took quite ill.
truly unfortunate. I was thinking as soon as I asked the question that, of course, the headmaster uh, couldn't take time away from the welfare of the children. I was just thinking of how much I'd like to meet him.
Yes, unfortunately, he's quite a closed off fellow, but perhaps we can arrange such a meeting. I am fairly close with him, and you seem like a good friend for him to have.
I should hope so.
Well, leave your calling card with our estate, and we would be happy to arrange such a visit.
Uh, thank you very much.
Of course.
Now, I do believe there are a few folks here who I haven't had the pleasure of meeting yet, so I'm gonna excuse myself, but it was a delight to meet you.
Of course, it's a pleasure to meet you as well. And maybe a fine lady such as yourself can perhaps convince Lord Argent to get out of the corner.
I shall go introduce myself to him.
Fantastic. All right, we're gonna take a quick 2-minute break, and then we'll be right back. I need to go cough up my lung.
Oh, good luck.
Good luck.
Oh, now I need a monologue from Eliana on hearing that Lord Larchant is here. I don't know if she's having any reaction to that at all, but I'll use my token now. Unless you've wandered away, which is fair.
I mean, a stretch break is never a bad thing.
No, never is. That is completely fair.
So just catching myself up, just to make sure I'm understanding what's going on. It sounds like Lord Helmfast offered to arrange a meeting with the headmaster.
Lord Hawkwinter, yes, sounded like he was going to agreeing to try to connect Eliana with the headmaster, which would imply that he doesn't know that the headmaster is deceased, or that someone
Okay.
else is the headmaster. But
Okay.
probably that just word
Mhm.
hasn't traveled back since it happened yesterday evening.
Okay.
But that does sound like a
And
very interesting thing to pursue
yeah,
and see if they
and
produce a new headmaster.
it was Hawkwinter that was having that conversation, not Helmfast, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
All right,
Yes.
I am back. Thank you
Welcome
so much
back.
for your patience with me. I'm also sucking down like 40, 60, 120 ounces of water every game. So.
You're extremely well hydrated.
Yes.
But yes,
All
that
right,
was
so
Hawkwinter who was
Okay.
having that conversation.
Okay.
And I was going to play my monologue token on Eliana if Rebecca is back.
I am back.
Delightful. What's Eliana as Eliana hears Lord Argent is over in the corner? I thought I heard some vocal
Oh,
feelings there.
I was wondering whether I'd be able to get through this evening without meeting him. It's not that I'm opposed to meeting him, it's just that there's still so much that I don't know about his sister and how she died and how the politics, and if I might be wandering into something that I don't know about and what I should say, and why is it that this is more why is it that this feels like it's more difficult than charming nobles into talking about the headmaster of the Caring Hands School? It is, but I'm here now, and I suppose there's no harm in introducing myself. What do I do? I say it? I don't think I need to say anything about Uriel. Should I say anything about Uriel? I'm only just meeting him. I feel like I don't need to, and we only had our talk today, so maybe I don't, not yet. I suppose I'll just see how this goes. I'm just about here anyway.
And I think I did figure out in the interim sort of a thing that Grim might say
Mm-hmm.
To Lord Argent before Eliana arrives while she's having a
Perfect.
conversation.
Yeah, definitely.
And reminder, I think most partly for myself as one of many reasons that Grim doesn't talk much at these things. Thick dock word accent.
Yeah.
Because I always forget that. I'm like, oh right, that's at play too. Is that a revolving title then?
No, it's familial.
Thought I'd heard it belonged to someone else.
It belonged to his husband when that was a thing, but he was kind enough to abdicate the position when she passed away.
And I think Grim sort of like a very slow nod and glances over to Eliana, and this is when they see her walking over.
Mhm.
And so they don't say anything else.
All right. I believe Corinne and Bones are having a conversation with Zelda fucking Teldore.
Apparently.
Delightful.
Bones approaches. Zelda takes a sip of her wine, and she does not seem to make a face at it.
Insight check. Does she actually like it, or is she very, very good at putting a poker face on?
Roll me both an insight check and a perception check.
Ooh.
I'll give you advantage on the perception check because of your background.
Okay. So we'll start with the perception check.
Okay.
It's a 27.
Damn, that's good.
And the insight is a 14.
14. She is unbothered by the wine because, as you notice, it's a slightly different color than the wine around you.
Okay.
that is being offered to the general public. It seems
Okay.
like perhaps Salda Taldore did some shit, and this is not the same wine that everyone else is drinking.
Respect.
I feel she didn't steal Bosun's wine, did she?
No.
Just checking.
She has no clue Bosun is there, as far as you know.
I would also appreciate that, but I this is very good.
Corinne immediately is like, internally, like, respect.
And Salda inclines her head as Bones returns. It is a surprise to see you again, Miss Darkmoon. And you brought a friend. Good evening.
Pleasure to meet you. Once again, extends a hand. Corinne, Regina, I'm Kathra. Lovely to meet you.
Lovely to meet you as well. I am Salda Taldore, and I recognize the name on Kafra. They do excellent wine.
We do, thank you. It's very high compliments. And like a little bit quieter goes, I only wish they'd consulted us for the selection at this evening.
Oh, of course. And you see her motion, and you see a servant kind of move around the party a little bit, and then kind of just pass you all and passes you a glass. And continues walking.
Amazing. Corinne takes the glass, gives it a sniff. Do I recognize?
It's root wheel.
Delightful. Takes a sip. How is it? I assume it's better than the house wine.
Oh, it's an Amkafra wine.
Oh, amazing. Like raises an eyebrow, like an approving eyebrow, like raises her glass a bit to Salda, takes another sip.
Yeah, she raises a glass at you as well.
So, if I may be candid, you seem much smarter than most of the people in this room. What brings you here?
Oh, the usual. Clawing my way back up the social ladder as one is expected to do. My daughters are not interested, and my son is useless at it, so it is up to me to secure my grandchildren's future, at least.
Well, it is quite the undertaking. I have to say I respect you for the efforts.
Appreciated. I'm glad someone appreciates it. And she looks to Bones, and Bones is like, Salda, I will yell at her for you, but there's nothing else I can do. She kind of is, she's and Salda just kind of sighs and goes, I know she's your mother, of course, but she should at least claim you. And Bones just sighs. Salda just like shakes her head. After all, you have done very well for yourself with that wizard, and it would help me a great deal if she would just fucking claim you. Excuse my language, Miss Ankatra.
Absolutely. I don't want to interrupt. Please carry on.
I'm just browbeating our Miss Darkmoon here.
Oh, but Miss Darkmoon's got quite the resume. She's very impressive on her own.
All the more reason for me to try and get her to become officially part of the family.
Well, Bones, have you ever considered being part of the Taldor family? Corinne is like very much enjoying this conversation. Like this is a spectator sport for her.
Bones' tail is just twitching a little bit. She's like, yes, I have. Probably on my 8 millionth sleepover with Alina when we were 10. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I am staying out of it. If Kior and Ilya want to have one daughter, they want to have one daughter. And a bunch of strays. Saul just shakes her head.
But to be fair, I do feel as though there is sort of an unofficial adoption that is in play with Ilya and Kior.
Of course, and that's why I'm so confused. It's why they just want to make it official. Several of Ilya's adopted daughters have done very well for themselves. And the biological one has done fine.
Well, to some extent, it almost is better when you don't have that direct relationship of parenting to impose upon yourself. You feel freer to actually pursue your own means without, someone else saying, oh, I want you to do this thing, or I'd like you to do this other thing. And it just so happens that, you can be successful on your own means, stand on your own feet, and you have individuals who will gladly support you, but there's not the pressure that goes along with it.
Salda looks confused by the very notion. But it is all about family. It all comes back to family. You go out, you make a name for yourself, the family supports you, and you support the family.
Well, that assumes that the family supports you. There's...
Of course, but we are Luskin, so...
Yes, I have to say, Waterdeep doesn't necessarily operate on the same rules that I've observed.
I've noticed that. I'm confused by this school at all, to be honest. Did they send their children away for punishment?
It does seem that way. Although, from my understanding, it's mostly street children. It's not really...
What is the street... I'm sorry. Ever since I have come to Waterdeep, I have been confused by street children.
Oh, orphans? Does that... I don't know if that's better. Children without parents?
And children without parents would be adopted by someone, of course.
Well...
Mom just shakes her head and she's like, not always, Salda. And Salda just sighs. You were adopted. And your papa would be very upset if you said you were not. And Bones just kind of... She doesn't sip her wine because she can't drink any of the wine. Bones just coughs a little bit. I wasn't aware you were familiar with Thorak. And Salda goes, I am familiar with everyone, darling. And she just sips her wine while maintaining intense eye contact. And you see the Inquisitor squirm.
Corinne takes another sip of wine. She's like, well, Salda, it has been an absolute pleasure speaking with you. It's lovely to meet you. I hope we meet again.
Of course. Flag down my man if you need more wine. The shit here is terrible.
Honestly, as you're a saint for bringing it.
You're a saint for having a friendly make, so...
Well, cheers to us both, then.
She raises a glass of wine and cheers you.
Delightful. And then I think Corinne will kind of like tap Bones' shoulder and just be like,
Yep.
absolutely
Bones
let me know.
already disengaged and is like heading in this direction.
Yep, that's fair. So I think Corinne will head over to where this collective has suddenly started to gather in this corner.
Delightful. I love Salda so much.
She's a favorite. I love playing Salda. She's just
I
Ilya, but more.
I love her so much, but also I'm like, yeah, I am so glad she's not my mother. Which is a delightful combination.
All right, as Eliana, you approach the two mysterious boys two mysterious peoples in the corner who are just like sulking. Well, no, one is sulking and one is being mysterious.
Correct.
It's factually correct. One is sulking. and one is being mysterious.
It's been suggested that I try to get you out of this corner, but I have no interest in doing that. I'm only making it appear as though I'm doing that.
He nods to you and gives you a kind of a charming grin. And then I will make an effort to smile at you pleasantly so they think it's working.
I won't.
They won't. But I will.
You need make no such efforts, Eliana says to Grim.
They give a knowing nod. And sneak another peek at Lord Argent.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Lord Argent.
My name's Eliana.
That's quite a pretty name.
Oh, thank you.
What are you doing at this trash party?
Oh, well, I got an invitation from Ilia Taldore, and here I am.
He actually brightens at the name. Ilya was the one who paid for your tickets.
She was.
I will not tell Salda.
No, I haven't met her yet, and I feel as though I'm not quite prepared for that.
Oh, I'd be happy to introduce you. She's interesting. She's quite interesting. She can be a little intense, but it's mostly directed toward her children, so. And grandchildren.
Oh,
And great grandchildren.
I don't know whether I would live up to her standards. But since I'm not one of her children or grandchildren or great-grandchildren, maybe they wouldn't be so high.
Perhaps. And he actually will offer you his flask.
Oh. Uh,
It's brandy.
oh,
Fig brandy, specifically.
fake brandy? Oh,
Fig.
fig brandy. I think it'll be a little sweet for me, but I also think it will be better than what's being served at this party. So, and Eliana takes a sip.
And as you take a sip, he's just like, I think the contents of a chamber pot would be better than what they said at this party.
She manages to swallow before she laughs. You'll see I don't have a glass in my hand.
Wise choice. But that is a good reason to make friends with Salda. She's bribed at least 2 of the servants here.
Oh, very good. How did you come to be at this party?
Oh, our family is friends with the Hawk Winters and has been for a great while, and now that I'm Lord Argent, I have to come to such things.
Oh, yes. We all have our family obligations. At least when one is the when one is the heir.
Exactly.
Are you a supporter of the school, or are you just here to be present?
I'm a supporter of the school in so much as I paid for my plate, but no, I don't think reform schools are quite the way to go. And if I were to invest in a reform school, I actually prefer the trade schools myself. This general education is fine, of course, but trade seems like a trade would be, well, first of all, the children would choose it, choose what school they'd go to and what they would trade in. And I feel like that's better somehow. He kind of shrugs.
Yes, both to have the choice, and that a trade means that you have something to fall back on.
I admit that I am a supporter, preferably of the Cartwright School for Cartwrights, because I find their name ridiculous.
It's a repetitive name, but you know exactly what you're getting.
Really? I mean, the name is Cartwright. If it was Cartwright School for Blacksmiths, I would be less likely to invest.
It would be a little confusing.
Really? Corinne, that's about when you approach.
Yeah. So in terms of what via Awakened Mind has Corinne learned?
So I think it was originally, let's see, what would it be? Something along the lines of this person has the same title as Elena's guest. Seems to have inherited it from her sister. You don't suppose the guest is a murderer, do you? Seems unlikely. And then sort of quickly devolves it, like sort of they pause and sort of are listening to the conversation, and realizing that they are sort of trapped here again between the wall and the staircase and more people. And so there's sort of a pause as she is after that as they are listening, and then just sort of a plaintive, I shouldn't teleport out of here, should I? That's what Corinne has gotten.
Amazing. So she approaches this little nook in the corner.
They would also at some point in there before the pause and the plaintiff and the plaintiff ask if they can teleport out, they would say, I did introduce myself. So that would also have been in there.
Okay. She approaches, she has a glass of wine. Comes up to the group. Well, I'm very impressed with Zelda Taldore. She knows her way around a servant. And I mean that from a substitution of beverage standpoint.
Grim raises a very eloquent eyebrow
Lord Argent nods.
and will reach for
She's-
Corinne's glass.
She's a
Yeah.
fiery one, yes.
Corinne passes the glass over to Grim.
Take a sip. They're trying to perform like grimace, but are surprised that it's actually good and will hand it back. Should I introduce her to Bosun?
No. Let's keep that for ourselves.
Corinne, have you met Lord Argent? I don't think I caught your first name.
Oh, Ayun.
Can
Pleasure to
you
meet
can you
Ayun.
talk with him in chat?
Yeah.
I don't believe we have met. Once again, extends the hand. Corinne, Honor, Regina, and Capra. Lovely to meet you.
Lovely to meet you as well. You don't come to these things often?
No, absolutely do not. I've unexpectedly run into wine that's actually quite good, so I'm a bit more predisposed to staying a bit longer.
I'm sure they'll be bringing out the food soon. I doubt that they want to linger at this party, but they have to make it worth cost per plate, so here we are.
Here we are indeed. You seem thrilled to be here, by the way.
I would double my donation if they would just give me the food in a bag and let me go.
Corinne kind of grins. It's like, I like you quite a bit.
Well, thank
This
you.
is not normally your... I mean, you clearly hate this, everything about this.
Very much so, yes.
You're a very game sport to be here at all.
That's my job. That's why I make the money. Well, why I have the title or something.
Or something. It's a lot of or something. Family title or inherited title?
Yes, it's a bit complicated. My sister was the heir, of course, and then when she died, it went to her husband, but her husband was not in a good place to become the next Lord Argent, and was kind enough to sign it back over to my family upon his abdication. So
Well, I am sorry for your loss.
Thank you. My sister would have been probably in that knot next to the tabaxi girl.
Ah, yes. Also with us. Making quite impressive rounds of the room, I must say.
I think that you must when you stick out so dramatically.
No, it's extremely fair.
I know that my brother-in-law had a similar situation where he definitely had to. He couldn't hide in a corner, let's just say.
Ah, yes, I believe we actually are familiar with him.
Oh.
Know who you speak of.
Oh. I was not aware he had returned to the country.
Well, he keeps a low profile, generally speaking.
Good for him.
He fled the country.
Oh yes, he went to Tikal. Where they ride dinosaurs and all sorts of nonsense that I have heard. I'm pretty sure dinosaurs aren't even real, but
I've heard that before.
they seem like ridiculous creatures if they are.
They honestly really do. It's the stuff of myths, the stuff of legends, the stuff of storybook tales, but
Like-
honestly, such a creature can't actually exist.
Dragons make sense, of course, and they're
Yes.
universal. We've seen them everywhere, but so non-magical dragons? It doesn't
Yes, exactly.
it doesn't seem quite real.
No, the
I
point
feel-
is, it just sort of doesn't seem like there's a point to it.
There isn't. I know I've been assured that they're real and that they're not just something that somebody came up with when they thought they saw a dragon, but it's awfully strange to me.
He kind of nods. Yes, so glad he's back in the country. I imagine he's doing medicine things, as he does.
He is, yes, doing quite well at those. Corinne is kind of like keeping an eye on Eliana out of the corner of her eye just to see like what kind of reaction she is having, if any.
Yeah, she is giving her best face of oh, this is vaguely interesting and it's all kind of sliding by me. And that's a 21 performance, so it's a pretty good one.
Grim is also keeping an eye on this. Let me roll insight. That's a nat 20, 26.
Yeah. So they would be able to tell that it's a performance.
I don't think there's anything they can do with that. Other than actually, I think they will sort of allowed to Corinne, I think, sort of lightly playful. So am I not allowed to teleport out of here? Have I
No.
met my obligations?
You've met your obligations. You are not allowed to teleport out. We have not had dinner yet, and that apparently is supposed to be the best part of our actual attendance.
What I do think is that I'd best step away before everybody else decides that this corner is the place to be.
I really would have to leave then.
If you're looking for a shield, Salda is quite reasonable when it comes to diverting people.
I'll keep
She
that-
knows which servants to talk to if you want good wine.
That as well. The Artemels are boars. Don't go near them if you want to stay awake.
Huh.
They're
not-
hunters.
They're hunters. They're bankers. They're bankers who hunt.
But, like, they actually hunt.
Yes, you'll find. I assume from the name on card for you, go to quite a higher level of hunts and parties than we do. At this level, hunting is hunting.
Oh,
The
I see.
test of skill and agility and a chance to show off. But no, they will. You'd think they'd have interesting stories about the boar that Ord took down, but no, he's very much more interested in interest rates and I don't know, long-term investments, and whatever
Stop!
a bond is.
Just stop! I'm falling asleep already. That's not acceptable before dinner.
Right, it's the best part.
And who are they talking to? Or oh wait, who? No, Bones is talking to him now.
Bones is talking to him now.
And who has Bones found then?
Lord Ilitel, which is interesting. He's a bit of a cad, but
Is he really?
He's a rake. I mean, he's not a cad, he's a rake. If you want a cad, look at Edwin. If you want a rake, look at Ilitel.
Oh, that Grim snaps their mouth shut and doesn't say anything. Doesn't say the thing they were about to say after that.
But I would not make assumptions about your Tabaxi friend, but they might get along fairly well from what I hear about Tabaxi.
She's rather a delight. I would appreciate if you would do me a favor. You seem like a good sort. If anyone asks, I never accepted any proposition from Edwin Helmfast.
Grim is continuing not to talk, but definitely like the eyebrow raise again.
He kind of raises his glass at you, and you notice that he also has a Taldore glass.
Nice.
Which is what they are being called now, I have decided.
Yep.
Obviously, if Edwin thought that he would be able to tempt you, he is very drunk and probably hallucinating.
It's really a tragedy. He's been drinking so much of the terrible wine that it's just probably gotten a hold of his mental faculties this evening. It's understandable. Completely understandable.
And I
Poor
look
thing.
forward to whatever mischief happens, because he's an asshole.
Is like smirking pretty openly, and then takes a sip of her glass, recomposes herself. Well, Lord Argent, you've been a delight. Genuinely, I say that. I have been to many parties in my day, and you are one of the better individuals that I've spoken to, so thank you for that.
Well appreciated. I'm available for all parties, for rental or purchase.
Excellent. I will leave you in your flask and your gestures at Grim. New mysterious friend, be.
No, unfortunately, I must leave this handsome person and go get my ear talked off about whatever junk bond is.
Grim definitely sort of chokes just a little bit at being called handsome.
Well, strength to your arm. His glass.
He clinks his glass with yours and heads off to go get bored about talking about junk bonds and interest rates. As you get close to Salda, Eliana, you see her kind of clock you out of the corner of her eye. And she kind of inclines her head to the Helmfast. Well, it's been lovely talking to you. I greatly appreciate it. I look forward to the hunt this weekend, of course. And I am certain that Edwin will perform better this time. Perhaps he can take some lessons. My daughters and my son are all accomplished hunters, and of course my grandchildren as well. And she just kind of smiles into her glass, and the smile does not quite reach her eyes as she inclines her head and steps away.
And I'm having an oh shit moment because I'm realizing I used my monologue token way too early.
Yeah, we all missing this opportunity. That's all right.
Yep.
Maybe we'll have another chance someday.
Yeah.
She smiles at you, Eliana. And actually, she just hooks her arm in yours and starts maneuvering you away from the helm fasts.
Lenya allows herself to be maneuvered.
Camelia, they are not worth talking to twice.
I don't think you're wrong about that.
Have you had a glass of... No, if you have not had a glass of wine, you've... And she kind of raises her hand at her servant, kind of makes another round of the room and stops by with a tray of glasses that don't quite seem to match the other trays that are being passed.
I accept one of those glasses.
Yeah. Except the servant heads off. He's not pausing or anything. Salda is a Taldore. As she smiles at you. I have not seen you at many of these parties. Lots of new faces tonight, and you are accompanying Miss Darkmoon, which bodes either ill or well for you. And she kind of sips her glass as she seems to be taking you in completely.
Yes, and Corinne Cathra as well.
Oh, you are friends with Miss Incothra. That also speaks well for you. And the sullen one hiding in the corner.
Yes.
No, not the sullen. The mysterious one. The sullen one is right there.
They are mysterious.
So, I am Salda Taldore.
And I'm Aliana.
It is a pleasure to meet you. What do you do in the city?
You as well. I reside over at the Last Call in the North Ward. Do some adventuring work, some healing work, and have made the acquaintance of quite a few members of your family.
Oh, I hope they're been on good behavior. Which members?
Sorry, all I caught there was good behavior.
Which members have you met? And she's going to sip her wine.
Well, Alina first.
She
Ilian.
just shakes her head and sips her wine.
Ilya and Kior, Uriel, a fair number of Uriel's siblings. I think that's it.
Yes, my daughter Odessa has done a fantastic job raising a large family, which is something us Luskans prefer.
Yes, think I've been I think I've been somewhat adopted by Ilya.
Somewhat, always somewhat. She just shakes her head in disappointment.
Oh,
Only a bit.
only that I, as I say it, I felt as though I was presuming, but
I mean, she's one of us, so of course she would adopt anyone who shows potential or might be in need of family. But always, the only official one is Alina, and that is a thing.
well, I'll confess I came here, and when I came to Waterdeep, I was quite in need of family, and I'm sure that Ilya saw that on me.
She has a good eye for talent and for those who would do well in any arena. Truly, it's unfortunate it's wasted. Um, her not being willing to formally adopt literally any of the children she has adopted. But that is a family problem, and she kind of waves it off. And you have met Uriel. He is one of my favorites.
Huh. I rather like him.
A pity he gave up his title, but understood, of course.
We all have to make the decisions that are best.
He is actually named after my husband, his grandfather. He was also a soft heart.
Oh yes, I don't believe I ever met him.
Oh, you wouldn't have. He died before we came to Waterdeep.
I'm sorry to hear that.
There's a bit of scandal and all of that, but Uriel is a lot like him, not just in name.
Hmm.
His father is also quite pleasant. Hunan. Hunan is my.
Oh yes, the Morning Lord.
Yes, he's a high priest of Lethander, and
I think I did meet him now that you mention it.
quite a match for Odessa. They have similar values. I was quite pleased with that match. And she just kind of sips her wine. And so, you are a healer, you do adventuring, you are acquainted with Ilya and Alina and Uriel. What have you been up to? Please tell me something interesting, because these people are all boring as hell.
Well, I suppose I should tell you on the investigating that on the adventuring front. Hmm, something interesting. As Aliana and I rack through for some sort of an acceptable story to tell.
Sheena. Probably the Undermountain. Everyone seems to try and take a crack at that. I don't get it, but they do. Yulia herself tried and failed, of course.
Tried that, didn't work out.
To be expected.
No interest in doing that again.
The Undermountain is not worth the investment or risk.
No.
I know some people make their fortunes there, but it's probably because they are not good at anything else.
Or if they're it seems to me as though going there takes a lack of interest in preserving one's own life, and that isn't me.
Good. We must always watch out for our own necks, because no one else will watch out for them. Except for family, of course.
Of course, and I am lucky that I am difficult to kill.
That is always a blessing.
Yes.
I am also exceptionally difficult to kill. I've had a couple of attempts, but nothing worth anything.
Oh, really?
Just occasional assassin or whatever from Luskin. My family, my family, well, not Uriel's family, were just they were a little bit more well connected than Uriel's, but I offended someone of some note.
Hmm. Sometimes these things happen.
They,
After Undermountain, we went on a trip up north to Leyland.
hmm,
The town's rebuilding itself. Um, for what ends, difficult to say, but it is rebuilding itself. Had an encounter with the cult of Talos up there.
Talos, he is quite intense. I mean, of course, we must be respectful of the Stormlord, especially anyone with an interest in shipping, but I find that people tend to cling too much to religion. We have a saying in my family, it's family first, country second, and religion never.
Hmm.
And then, of course, I gave birth to a bunch of fucking clerics, so. And she just sips her wine.
Oh, I'm beginning to see where Uriel gets it from with the sacrilege.
He's a fun one. He's one of my favorites. Don't tell him.
No, I don't put much in religion.
Neither do I. It is cold comfort for those who have to live in this world.
I am from I am from and they favor Joaquin there, and oh my goodness, there are more important things than money. Money helps, but it isn't everything.
Cheers to that. And she raises her glass to you.
Liliana will clink glasses with Zelda.
Those who chase money are doomed to fail. If you chase money, money is not something that you can chase. It's like a cat. You have to sit and be patient. And if you are canny, and cunning, sorry, my accent is a little thick tonight, it will come to you.
Yes, it does have a way of doing that.
But chasing it is the easiest way to get it to run away.
Oh, no, my father knows.
Are you close with your family, or you? Oh no, you mentioned that you came to the city without family, and that Ilya had adopted you. Maybe we will work on getting that more official, so you can have the Taldori name at least.
Perhaps.
I will. I can try and lean on her. Bones is not interested, of course, but she kind of tilts her head to side to side. I am still trying on that one.
Oh, well, um, Bones will do what she will do.
Uh, Speaking of cats. Well, it was quite pleasant talking to you, and I am happy to have gotten in between you and the Helmfasts. They are quite odd. Have you noticed that?
Yes, I have. Um, it it seems the discussion I had with them earlier was a bit peculiar.
I think they care more about the school than the Hawkwinters, which is a thing. Um,
I got that impression too.
Maybe they are more heavily invested. I know the Hawkwinters just cared about it for their daughter, and that's not worked out well for them. I do not understand this, sending their children away if they are in trouble. Then you would keep them closer so you could keep a better eye on them. But she kind of just waves it off like, these people are silly.
Well,
When
I
Ilya
beg.
ran off to go join ships, I did not send her away. I kept her closer and took away her lockpicks.
How did she get them in the first place? And Eliana's kind of smiling at this part.
If Ilya wants something, she gets something, and I don't let her know that I am very impressed by it, but she is away. She
You
takes after me in such manner, I suppose.
you will have to be the one to let her know yourself.
Good, because she should not be told. Her ego is already out of control.
But yes, the Helmfasts do seem it's the Hawkwinters who are hosting, but the Helmfasts do seem
The true believers, yeah.
yeah.
It's just a school, yes? This is not. It's just a school, right? Oh fuck, you're an adventurer, aren't you? And this is not just a school. And she just sips her wine like, I'm an idiot.
I may
Who
need
wants?
to I may need to discuss with you in more detail at another time.
We will find an antechamber and have a quiet discussion. Who bought your tickets, though? Usually adventurers are skinflint in between jobs, I guess.
Oh, it was Ilya.
Oh, goodness. Okay, so it's that level of nonsense. Okay. Good to know. I will make sure to keep an eye on everything. But it was a pleasure talking to you. They're about to ring the bell for dinner, and hopefully you are sitting next to me. You are quite interesting to speak with.
That would be lovely.
I would like to sit next to the adventurers and not the Helmfasts. Or the Autumnals.
Oh,
They are worse.
I do hope that the seating arrangement has been set up in our favor.
Luck favors the prepared. And she gives you a wink. If you'll excuse me, I'm going to go powder my nose. And she heads out
She smiles back.
to go do
And once Zelda is out of eyeshot, Eliana
Elena's posture kind of relaxes a bit.
You see Lord Argent kind of disengage and move next to you. You survived. Congratulations.
I did.
Well, she didn't eat you whole, so you must have done a decent job.
I'm still here. I have one of her glasses of wine. I'm still here.
That's becoming a badge of honor at this party.
At that comment, Eliana looks around. Everybody is everybody who is expected to be still here?
Everyone is still there except for, actually, who has a passive perception over 15?
Everyone but me.
Everyone but you. You notice several cards are being just surreptitiously changed and replaced as the seating arrangements are for some reason adjusted. For what reasons you don't know.
Grim doesn't know. By someone in particular, like by servants or by
just servants when they're like setting up for dinner. It seems like dinner is going to be starting soon. They're
delightful.
Yeah, just several cards are being moved here and there.
Delightful.
I'm terrified of her and I love her.
Okay. And as Lord and Lady Hawkwinter, Lord Hawkwinter kind of claps his hands and goes, Everyone, if you would be so kind as to sit down for dinner, I think that dinner is prepared and we are ready to begin our tasting. And everyone kind of goes to find their seats. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, is Corinna still standing by Grim at this point?
No, Corinne would have filtered away because, like, she does not want Edwin to see her with Grim.
Yeah, and they exactly to that point. But at some like at the point at which Lord Argent and Eliana had both left, Grim would have sort of quiet but not panicky whisper, but like intense whisper. I could not sit near him. And like jerk their chin in Edwin's direction.
It will be taken care of.
Thank you. And like just sort of reaches out to touch her arm. Or actually, I think probably just takes her hand very briefly and then let's go because she's clearly got places to be.
Yep. She squeezes it really briefly and then like heads off to mingle once more somewhere in the crowd.
Delightful.
Having banal conversations about investments or
Corinne knows what a junk bond is.
No one knows.
It's one of the, like, she engages in this conversation just making affirmative noises.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
oh, they will prattle on at you forever and ever.
Yeah.
It seems like Lord Ilutel is trying to lay some game on Bones, who is either, with your passive, you notice this, who is either not picking it up or just blithely shutting him down every single time. Like a cat lazily batting away a toy. Like, not interested whatsoever, just...
Amazing.
But as the dinner bell is rang, we are going to call it for tonight. You all settle down for dinner at the Hawkwinter estate.
Amazing.
Delightful.
So many things.
I will be right back again, sorry.
Sure.
Oh, no worries.
I feel like I need to absorb what... I did not catch that the Helmfasts were more engaged than the school. That's fascinating.
They were the ones who've actually met the headmaster.
That's fascinating. I must have been so busy taking notes that I wasn't processing what I was typing, which is a thing that happens.
Wait, hold on. Because I had in my notes earlier that Lord Helmfast had offered to arrange a meeting with the headmaster, but then that got changed to Lord Hawkwinter. Which one was it?
I may have completely misunderstood.
That was Helmfast.
It was Helmfast.
I must have given you bad information then. Sorry about that.
No worries. This is what happens when I take notes. This is why I never take notes.
So the Helmfast was so she was talking to the Hawkwinters who just loved the school because it helped their daughter, and then she was talking with the Helmfasts, or the Helmfasts offered to connect you with the headmaster. Is that what happened?
Yeah, so the Hawkwinters,
Okay.
Grim read their thoughts, and it seemed like maybe they were being mind controlled. Maybe they actually believed all of these canned lines about the school. Who knows? Yeah.
Okay.
So Helmfast either doesn't know the headmaster is dead or is going to introduce us to a different person entirely.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Sorry for the getting my families confused there.
No worries. And the Helmfast are the ones who donated the land for the school as well.
I am back. Thank you
Welcome
I
back.
think.
for post-game chats.
Yeah, I think we're just trying to untangle because I definitely got confused about who was who. So the
Okay.
so and I remember who was who, just sort of who was talking at different points. So the Hawkwinters are the ones who are hosting the party,
Yes.
and are very excited, very very pro school because it helped their daughter up until recently. The Helmfasts were the ones who offered to connect with the headmaster.
Yes.
And which family donated the land that the school sits on?
The Helmfasts.
Okay. That seems fine.
Well, good thing Corinne's planning to ruin Edwind.
Yeah.
He chose wisely.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
I'm also really enjoying. I'm trying to remember. So it would have been Grim would have known him about 4 years ago. So I'm imagining that like he was awful at that point, but maybe a little less confident, like a little
Yeah,
a little less smarmy.
Not
So,
as smooth.
and like has escalated into pure
Yeah.
pickup artistry. Like
Yes.
he was a young cad and now he is a pickup artist.
Now he's straight up a pickup
Like
artist. Yeah.
it's amazing.
Oh my god.
He has
Fascinating.
only gotten worse with time.
Oh. What an
I can't wait for
interesting-
Corinne to learn that she has to continue the con a little bit longer.
Oh. That'll be fun.
I mean, maybe.
I always like bringing out Zelda. That's always fun.
Oh, she's great.
She is
Corinne is a
fabulous.
big fan of Zelda. Big fan.
Anya is still terrified of her, slightly less so.
I mean, terror seems an absolutely appropriate.
It's not inappropriate, at least.
Yeah. That was
At least you're not Alina.
Yeah, I have so many questions about her. Like Grim doesn't know, but her like Alina's fine.
Yeah.
And
Also,
Alina
you are
is
definitely seeing the approach of be aggressive, be impressive first, and then say, by the way, I like your grandson.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's. I am so curious whether Salda already knows who Eliana is.
I feel like she does, but I'm not 100% sure.
Well, next game we'll be back in this room and we'll have some more monologue tokens.
Yeah.
You sure
So
will.
that's something to look forward to. What was the other thing I was gonna say? Oh, no, that's right. I was remembering that. So Tab met Salda.
Oh yes.
Back in the early days of Tab being in TDK, and Tab met Salda by trying to find. They were on a mission in Whitestone, trying to find a Hero's Feast bowl. So they needed a jewel encrusted bowl, and Rogue rolled some sort of bananas investigation check.
They're just walking into houses.
And I don't know if it was a stealth check that was not great or what happened. No, they weren't even trying to stealth. They were just trying to walk out, I think is what happened. And Salda showed up, and the other players went nuts in the chat box. And I was like, I don't know what's happening, but we're Tab, so we're just gonna keep like yes, we were told we could have this.
Yeah,
It was
Amazing.
very
there was a
satisfying.
game of cat and mouse there that Tab had no clue they were playing.
Yeah. It was
And then
I think the first instance of Tab just sort of cheerfully telling basically the truth and being unintimidated by the thing they should have been unintimidated by. I think it was the first time that was viewed on screen, and
yes.
they got away with it. Although I think there was definitely like something was like tell Cure
Oh yeah.
something.
No, she said tell my daughter that if she wants something, she can just ask for it.
Yeah, it was
So
very good. But I will never forget the people like going nuts and be like, "Get out of there! Get out of there!" And I was like, "Well, whatever this is, it's just gonna happen."
no.
It's very
Oh
good.
yeah, Corinne is full on like obsessed with her.
I
Like
want to
my
be when you grow up.
basically yes.
Oh,
like
fascinating.
I aspire to this energy.
Oh,
Like
that's so
not in the same
interesting.
degree of like the like I mean she doesn't really know the details of like the family stuff, but like just the energy of like yeah, of course I brought and smuggled my own wine into this party. Like
The
Yeah,
absolute
of course.
mastery.
yeah,
2 of these servants are mine.
yes, like Corinne absolutely like that is goals.
Oh, that's
For sure.
fascinating.
I see it and I love it.
Yeah. Also, I need to know if Corinne and Felgar have any history. Like one, well, I guess it would be one party's worth of history, if anything, because that's how
I
Corinne
think
rolls.
Yeah, I don't think it's that sort of history. I think that they have probably been catty bitches with each other at parties.
Yeah.
I love it.
I believe they have at least at 1 or 2 parties sat in the corner drinking and sharing tea about just everyone on the party.
Oh.
Just straight up just dishing and salting everybody.
That absolutely tracks.
Delightful.
Yes.
Like if Bo was not available for that kind of thing, but he honestly
the
he's too
best.
wholesome for that.
Yeah, that makes
yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
That's too mean of a conversation for Bo.
Yeah,
Bo is
he's
such a cinnamon.
well, especially like now that you all have seen Bo in action, like he's
so
just a
pure.
cinnamon roll.
I
Yeah.
love him.
Like Corinne was the one who was just like, nope, Bo, nope, no. Oh shit, nope. We're gonna go clean up that mess. Nope.
Yeah.
Oh god, just go stand in the corner. Just stay there where I can see you.
Ilutel, to give you a peek behind the screen, what I wrote for him was, if you don't have anything nice to say, come sit next to me.
Yep.
Brilliant.
I love it.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
what an interesting crowd.
I guess we're about to find out who he's sitting next to when we play in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I can't wait to read back through this and see what things I missed and figure out what things next time. I do think Grim definitely wants to try to. I mean, the problem with playing Grim is that they don't talk to people. So it has to be like, hey, Corinne or Eliana, can you do this thing for me? Often, which is like part of the fun of it, but also part of the. But they definitely are thinking like there are servants here. Someone knows where the Hawkwinter kid is, and I think they just want to know if she's okay. But also they really want to know what her experience was. So I will. I've not given you a to-do list in a couple of sessions. I will definitely give you a to-do list before next game.
Yeah.
But
No, I have
interesting group.
plans. Things are happening in the background.
Oh, I'm so excited. Oh man. Well, thank you.
Brilliant.
Oh.
Yes.
And to make you guys even more